live from the Good Ship Geek Show, captained by Admiral Kerry Jackson once again.
Ooh. Now listen, Martin, you're not going to close the beaches of your own authority, are you? Now listen, Martin, you say barracuda. People say, huh? What? You say shark. And you've got yourself a panic on the 4th of July. These beaches will remain open. Start the show. Oh, hi, everyone.
Thank God.
Hello.
What, Rebecca? What?
She's tired of all the responsibility.
The weight heavy is the head.
Oh, Rebecca, you did a great. I'm sure you did a great job. I didn't listen. I didn't want to check up on you or any of that. I'm sure you did a great job.
Yeah, you should go back and watch last week's episode. I put in so much effort.
Okay. I will. Then.
I would just like to choose movies for 300, please.
Tony, I swear to God.
She put in so much effort. She's Rebecca Frost, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing?
Sleepy. So sleepy.
Up late for the fireworks?
Yeah, sure.
Go with that.
You were up late watching a Star Trek movie, which we will talk about on the TV show in space.
Yeah, big yikes, dude.
Yep, sorry about that.
This
His
wasn't
cat,
even one of the really bad ones.
Yeah. His cat keeps eating his gummies. He's quad T, too tall Tony.
Lucy, those are Tony's gummies, not Lucy's gummies.
And Rob, sorry about that whole thing in the Discord. I didn't mean to spoil that for you.
That's okay. It's just like, oh, geez. Actually, you didn't. It was just one of those, okay. I have confirmation now that everything I've seen is true.
He reminded you that it had already been spoiled for you.
Yes,
He did. But don't forget our host.
Oh,
Mr.
hi.
Back in the captain's chair.
They let him back in the country. Kerry Jackson.
Jackson.
Well, that's because on paper I am a registered Republican, and as you can see, I'm white. So
Also
it's not
on
a
paper,
problem.
he's white.
You're what?
I
Let
know,
that guy
right?
in. He's fine. Just let him in.
I've got a little bit of a slideshow for you coming up for my trip.
Ooh.
That is geek related. We'll have that for you coming up. Stand by for that at the end of the part where we talk about what we consumed. All right, let's begin. Tony, I hope you saw this trailer.
You bet I did.
I have not.
Both of these
Don't
trailers.
watch it. Hey,
Yeah,
unless
Rebecca
you've
told
read
me
the
not
book,
to watch
don't
it.
watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, really?
Yeah.
Or if you insist on watching this and have not read the book, stop
That's
at
me.
2 minutes 20 seconds.
Oh, okay. Well then,
Because there's a twist within this book. This is one of the best books I've ever read. It's one of my favorite books of all time. And if you can listen to it in audiobook format, we're talking about Project Hail Mary, everybody.
Yes.
And there's a twist within the book that is so freaking good that they are going to use it to market the movie, which sucks. So either avoid trailers altogether if you can, or if you're going to watch this new trailer that came out, stop at 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Everything she just said, I wholeheartedly agree with.
okay, all right. I have not read the book. I just watched the trailer and I stayed till the end, and I know what you're talking about now. And I wonder. Well, we can talk about it. We'll talk about it in the after party because I have a theory as to why they did that. I have just a tiny.
Oh, I know why they did that because
Tiny
it's interesting. You know,
It is, yeah.
Like, that's going to put a couple more butts in the seats.
Well, I think they wanted to, because you're saying it's from the guy who wrote The Martian,
Yeah,
and the way the trailer proceeds is like, oh, we've got another
very Martian-y.
Martian-y thing on our
Yeah.
hand. Anyway.
I mean, it's Martian-y enough by sending the guy into space.
Oh,
True.
it's definitely Martian-y for sure.
True.
Can you
Anyway.
believe they
But is
based
it
that
going to
on
be
a
my
true
favorite
story?
Martian?
Manhunter?
March.
No, that was for
20
Carrie.
John Jones.
Thank you. I appreciate it. March 20th is when that opens in theaters, and I suspect this is going to be a pretty big hit. I think so.
I really hope so. It deserves it.
I have yet to read a bad review of the book, and the reaction to the trailer has been just phenomenal. So,
Do, 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 do.
exactly. I expect it to be a hit. Another one that I kind of expect to be a hit.
But I really tried, Rob. I really tried not to do that. But
Well, he said phenomenal. And if you saw the
Phenomena.
Muppets, was it Muppets Tonight,
Yeah.
where Sandra Bullock was Kermit's psychologist?
Oh, I love that show.
and his therapist, and he goes in, and instead of phenomena, they used phenomenon, the word phenomenon. And whenever it happened, the little creatures would pop up, and Sandra Bullock would just start.
Da, 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 da. All
Right.
right.
Dang it.
The next trailer was for The Running Man,
This looks so good.
which
This looks
just
nothing like the Utah Saints video. I was so disappointed.
absolutely it looked like a lot of fun. This movie. I guess the original has faded enough from memory that people are going to accept this one.
Richard Dawson forever.
Well, this is the more book accurate
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Well, plus there are a lot of elements that are taking place in our modern day lives that will fit into this story as well.
It's kind of crazy that we have two movies this year, both adapted from not just Stephen King books, but Richard Bachman books about a reality TV show where if you lose, you die.
But this one looked like a lot of fun. Edgar Wright is directing, and you got that Glenn Powell fella playing Ben Richards. But now everyone said the same thing that you did, Rob, and that was, how do you replace Richard Dawson as the host of the show? To which I say, Coleman Domingo.
He's
crushing
looked
it.
great in that trailer.
Beautiful man.
But in the Schwarzenegger film, Killian and the host are the same character, but in this they are two different people. The host is Coleman Domingo, and Killian is played by Josh Brolin. And
Very intimidating.
Killian is the producer. Yeah, it just looks great. Again, go watch it. I didn't see in the trailer Michael Cera or, well, William H. Macy appears briefly.
Michael Cera was
Michael
there
Cera,
for about
he's
a
there.
second.
Is he? I didn't see him.
He has the pump water gun.
Yep.
That's him. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. But yeah, again, this looks like a lot of fun. November 7th. Looking forward to
They
it.
also seem to include. There was an aspect of the book that I was like, are they going to include this in the movie in a post 2001 world? Because at the end of the book,
Looks like they're going to.
there's an airplane, and I mean, I don't want to spoil it, I guess, but there's a scene in the trailer where it shows them in the airplane. So I'm like, oh, I guess they're going to do that.
Either they're pulling a fast one on us, and that's not the scene we think it is, or they are alluding to that actual crazy scene.
Egg says that the book is set in the dystopian future of 2025.
Wait a minute.
How did they know?
Oh, yeah.
I cannot wait for him to escape alligator Alcatraz.
Call it Alligator Auschwitz. That's what it is. All right. The other little bit of teaser trailer we got was The Eyes of Wakanda.
Yapimbe!
Oh, yeah. This animation looked beautiful.
Yep.
August 27th is when that premieres on Disney Plus. So the end of next month. But what's interesting about this is it's one of those anthology series. It's not just about the Black Panther. It's about people who live in Wakanda. Also the Dora Milaje.
Was it a series?
Milaje.
I thought it was just a movie.
No, it's a
No, it's a
series.
series.
Nice.
But yeah, it just looks terrific. And if you watch Ironheart on Disney Plus, you get to see the trailer. So that's what you're going to see
Over again.
over and over
Egg
again.
wants to know what studio is doing the animation. Do you have that knowledge handy?
Do not
Disney?
have that information. No. But it looks terrific. It really looks just.
If you're watching Ironheart, they make sure you know about this show at the beginning of every episode of Ironheart.
If only they had done that for Ironheart with other shows.
Other shows.
Exactly.
Wikipedia says animation for the series is provided by Axis Animation.
I've not heard of them. Have they done other things that we might be aware of? Does it say? Go ahead.
Let's see. Animation for the series provided by Axis Animation in a hand-painted style inspired by contemporary African-American artists such as Ernie Barnes as well as illustrator Dean Cornwell.
It just looks terrific, and there's just so much story that can be mined in this series. I look forward to it. I mean, it is a 10,000-year-old society, so you can do a lot there, I think. August 27th, Disney Plus. Let's see. Quickly, let's remind everyone about our Patreon. We get the after party, which is just us doing more of this show after we're done with this show, but only our Patreons can attend.
While you're doing this, I need to step away for just a second. I will be right back.
Go right ahead.
Okay.
But the after party happens right after the show. Also, you get the TV show in space early. We did our Next Gen season finale, All Good Things, just recently.
Series.
And then maybe Next Gen just stops after that.
No, just Generations isn't
And we
the worst
never
one, by the way.
revisit our Next Gen friends ever again.
But we're going to continue with the Next Gen movies, and then we're going to head to Deep Space Nine on the show. Also, let's not forget our merch is there as well at geekshow.store. Here's the thing. You see that snapback hat there? So I took a few of those to relatives in Korea, where my brother-in-law took some Los Angeles Dodgers hats. Which do you think was the most popular?
The Geek Show
Well,
hat?
The Geek Show hats.
Bisabaru.
No, I would have thought the baseball hats would have gone. No, kid reached right for the Geek Show hat first thing.
Nice.
I was thrilled. Anyway, so pick those up at geekshow.store. Also, don't forget our friend Lee George Cade still has some medical bills. We wish him well. And this is the QR code to his Venmo. Goes directly to the Cade family. No middleman, nothing taken off the top. Goes directly to help them with all the medical bills that are still piling up for Lee George Cade. And we wish him well. All right. Let's get back to some news. This, I'm not sure. I mean, it's very press releasey as I read this story. I kind of wonder. I hate to do that because I have no evidence, but I kind of wonder. Neil Druckmann has left the HBO series The Last of Us. Now, in his statement, he said, I made the difficult decision to step away from my creative involvement in The Last of Us on HBO with work completed on Season 2 and before any meaningful work starts on Season 3. Now is the right time for me to transition my complete focus to Naughty Dog and its future projects. That's the game company that makes The Last of Us, including writing and directing our exciting games, Intergalactic, The Heretic Prophet, along with my responsibilities as studio head and head of creative. I kind of wonder, and again, I got no evidence other than corporate greed exists. I kind of wonder if they're saying, look, we want to continue this. We're not just going to follow the game. We're going to go as long as it's making us money.
Let me pull up a quote that I saw.
Okay.
At a 2025 DICE summit, Druckmann shared a conversation that he had with series co-star Pedro Pascal, who was getting frustrated with Druckmann's directing on the show. As Druckmann recalls, Pascal asked him, "Do you like art?"
Do you like art?
So I'm starting,
Wow.
I'm starting to wonder.
But Pedro's not on the show anymore. I mean,
No, but
Flashback.
like I am wondering if Neil Druckmann is difficult to work with as far as creating a creative vision.
I mean, I kind of got that feeling when I see interviews with him, you know, because he talks about how we're sticking strictly to the game. That was his reoccurring theme. We're sticking to the game. And I wonder if maybe some of the creatives on the show want to maybe play around a little bit more, and he's not into it. I don't know. No evidence. Jay Whitaker, everybody.
Oh.
Jay,
We cannot hear you,
we
friend.
cannot hear
We
you.
cannot
Jay.
hear.
The world is a cage for his impotent rage.
I can't hear you, but I know what you said. Play around a little bit. We'll see if we can get you to join in.
I think as far as Druckmann stuff goes, he does need to get back to working on their new game, Intergalactic.
Yeah, 'cause that game
Planetary?
looks fun.
Damn
That
it.
game looks good.
It looks really good from what they've shown. And the thing about Naughty Dog these days is they do one game at a time, and they take a long time to do each game, which is, I think, is lame personally. You know, they haven't put out a new game since The Last of Us Part 2, which came out on PlayStation 4.
Really?
Whoa.
So
Wow. Okay.
I don't like the look of this dude.
Hey, welcome back. There you are.
hey, Mike's working.
No, I just don't. It turns out the mute button is all you need to push.
Oh.
I don't like the look of this dude, man. He looks like he's looking at her have a bad day, and I don't like it.
Well,
like,
he's
"Hey."
responsible for her bad day.
Exactly.
Every
I
bit
get
of
it. Most men are.
It be like that.
Let's see. On to other stuff. People of a certain age remember the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Do I?
Yeah. 35th anniversary of the original. And it's going to be back in theaters this year. Let's see. It's, of course, Fathom Entertainment. They specialize in this sort of thing.
Oh, so tickets will be $30.
Yeah, well, you get not just the movie, but you get, some behind-the-scenes making of stuff and all of that. And what people seem to forget about this movie is that this was pre-CG. All the
You're
effects,
telling me? You're
all the
telling
effects,
me?
all the stunts, everything are guys in costumes, and the Jim Henson Creature Shop helped create the suits for the turtles, and it for its time it was pretty groundbreaking. But anyway, so it'll be in theaters with Turtles Unmask, a new featurette packed with footage from the making of the film, and that'll run before the movie itself. And so that's August 17th, August 19th. And you can get your tickets at Fathom right now. Okay, DC
$30.
DC nerds, wake up. Who dis?
That is this.
That is this.
She
Nubia.
is this.
Okay. So here's an interview. James Gunn's all over the place talking about the Superman movie, and they're asking him questions about all the other projects he's got going. And someone asked about Nubia making her live-action debut in the DCU at some point in the not-too-distant future. He said, "I'm very aware of Nubia. Yes, we are very much talking about that. I want to have all sorts of people represented in the DCU, and yeah, you might be happy in the not-too-distant future. So, tell me of this Nubia. Wonder Woman character, then."
Yes. So
Okay.
originally, if I remember the original canon, the pre-crisis canon, Nubia was Wonder Woman's twin sister,
Yep.
happened to be black.
Yep.
Really?
No, this shit's wild, bro. Like even I
sister.
remember reading about this. I was like, wait, what?
So yeah, and she was, there was a lot of competition for the title of champion, whole 9 yards. Nubia then became kind of her own character, just kind of faded off into the woodwork for a while. She came back into prominence. DC did an Amazon event about 5-6 years ago, and unfortunately, they do these the events with Amazons being hated and feared by everybody in the world. Like they do a crisis, it's just like throw the Amazons at them, it'll be fine. But it basically featured the three factions of Amazons: the Themyscirans, the Bana Migdalians, and the Iscaria in Brazil, which is where Yara Flor, Wonder Girl, comes from. Artemis, who actually replaced Diana as Wonder Woman for a while, is from the Bana Migdal tribe of Amazons, and they don't all get along very well.
Okay.
So they basically, this event centered around the death of Hippolyta, and who would, become queen of all tribes of the Amazons. A lot of people are like, well, she just go to Diana. She is Hippolyta's daughter. And the other two tribes are like, F that. We should have an equal say in who rules, who gets to rule. So they had basically another contest. And eventually they all decided that Nubia, who had been kind of the de facto leader of the Themysciran faction, was basically elected, for lack of a better word, queen of the Themysciran tribe, and kind of over the other two, but those two are just kind of like, we'll do our own thing, but we will not be as distant anymore. So you can find out about Nubia, her original story in Wonder Woman 204, if you can find a copy of it. And she's been featured pretty prominently over the past 3 to 5 years in DC as the Queen of the Amazons, and in her own, I think There's Nubia in the Amazons. I think there was just a Nubia title that, if I remember correctly, was a 6-issue miniseries, which is where
So-
that artwork comes from.
So this TV series that he has teased about Wonder Woman's Island, the
Paradise
mascara,
Lost. Yeah,
Paradise Lost, maybe that's where she would show up.
But
they may
Makes
introduce
sense.
her there, but I don't know.
So
she's a
after all the reboots and everything, is she still Wonder Woman's twin sister?
No, she's
they
another
retconned
Amazon. And
that.
they've done, yeah, they kind of like that may have been a bad move.
Yeah.
no, that wasn't. They didn't like that.
Now,
Well,
wait
I
a
mean, it's kind
minute.
of like Lois Lane deciding to be black. Like, oh, maybe we should have thought this through.
Wait a second.
I mean, Lois Lane would be better as a character if she was black. I'm just saying.
Have you read that issue? It is probably one of the most problematic Superman issues ever.
How old
Sorry,
is that
Superman's
issue?
girlfriend. 70 crap, like 72 or
Not the
74.
one
Oh,
where they
okay.
turned Lois Lane into a baby and
No,
Lana
no.
Lang swapped bodies with her. so
No,
then
Lois
Lana
Lane.
Lang-
Really quick, Lois Lane decided, she goes into the seedier parts of Metropolis, can't get the time of day because everybody's like, oh, it's just a white chick. All right, whatever. So she's like, but I want to get to understand life there in the story.
So she goes undercover.
So she has Superman put her through a machine that turns her black for 24 hours. All of a sudden,
Oh, no.
this and a change of clothes, and she's part of the community, and she's doing great until her 24 hours are up. She has to, she leaves, and there's a shooting in the neighborhood. There's a guy who is very much like when she came there as a white reporter, was just like, nope, he needs a blood transfusion. Who's the only person that can give him a transfusion? It's Lois. Oh my God.
Wow.
I own this issue, and it's just one of those. I only own it for the same reason that I own a copy of Song of the South, for those reasons.
Oh, I see.
Got it. They should have just invited her to a cookout and saw what she brought, and when she brought the wrong shit,
It would have been potato
everybody
salad
everybody
with
would have just
raisins
known.
in it. And, yeah,
Exactly.
just like,
Everybody would have just known. And that's
Exactly.
an excellent book from Kyle in the comments. Black Like Me, dope book.
Yes.
Makes you
All
angry, but it's dope.
So yeah, Nubia. There we go. All right, looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this new Superman. All right. Let's see. So Scarlett Johansson's out promoting this new Jurassic Park movie, and they're asking her about the Tower of Terror movie that she is connected to. Tower of Terror, for those who don't know, ride at Disney parks. It's my favorite ride at Disney parks.
it's
I
my
didn't even
least
think they
favorite
had
ride.
them anymore. I thought they changed them all over to other themes.
East Coast still has it.
East Coast still has it, as does Tokyo. They still
okay.
have Tower of Terror. But great ride. I have a lot of fun with it. I even
No.
no.
No, it's the word. It's so scary.
Yeah, I know.
What she said.
It's great.
I like the Guardians of the Galaxy.
You fall
paint-
faster than gravity would have you fall.
Exactly. It's fun.
It's,
Did you?
honestly, it's great.
Yeah, there are certain seats, and I'd have to show you on a diagram, where if you take like a quarter and you hold it, if you hold it in those seats while it's going down, the quarter will float above you, like you're
Sorcery.
I don't
what
like
sorcery
that.
is this?
I don't like that.
I like. Yeah, I'm with this.
But anyway, so they're asking her about this, and she says that it's still taking shape. Here's her quote. It's a hard nut to crack, harder than you think, because the ride itself, there's some lore to it, but it's,
Some.
I don't want to say thin, but it is kind of. That's part of the mystery of the ride. It's been a fun project to work on because it's a blue sky project. It's also proved to be a hard nut to crack, but we will crack it. It's taking shape. So she's admitting that, yeah, maybe it's a little thin for a plot.
If only there was like a well of other stories they could pull from.
Nope,
If
Yeah.
only.
just this one.
Just
No?
that one.
Okay.
There you go.
It's wild.
All right. Let's see. Predator, Badlands. Has anyone watched the Predator cartoon yet?
Heck yeah,
I have.
awesome.
I thought it was quite good.
I have thoughts. It
well,
was great.
those are your thoughts?
That's
Okay.
my thought.
I
too.
mean, well,
I'd
I
love
mean,
to
I
hear
don't know.
'em.
Well, I haven't been on in a while, so I don't know if we were saving it for recommends. But yes, like I will say, it was definitely worth your watch. This was a beautiful. It was it Killers of the Killers?
Yeah,
Predator.
killer of killers.
Yeah, the slow start. I won't say slow start. maybe it's the Predator build, but like I don't know. I really enjoyed this. It was the payoff was like, oh, this is where
Yeah,
we're
it
going.
was.
Cool.
Yeah.
Exactly. But anyway, Daniel Trachtenberg, he's our Predator whisperer.
King Predator.
King Predator, and he's talking about this character who is the main character of Predator Badlands, character named Dek, Dek. He is considered to be the runt of his litter. And
He's only 7 feet tall instead
Yeah.
of 7.5 feet tall.
he's hoping the audience will root for him. He says he's a thing of few words, pretty blunt. He cuts straight to the point, literally and figuratively. That feels like a big idea, but not just within Predator, but in sci-fi generally. In most sci-fi universes, the creatures are either bad guys or sidekicks. In Badlands, it's what if you were with the creature on this crazy mission to prove itself, seeing everything through its eyes. After Prey, I had 3 ideas. One was Killer of Killers, one was Badlands, and one I haven't done yet. So there's this other awesome idea in time periods that I'd like to explore. It's not part of our discussion for what's next. So, yeah. Looking forward to it. If he can do the same thing that he did with Killer of Killers, boy, I'm back.
Yeah.
Back in the Predator universe.
I want more. I wanted more of that. When I finished this, I was like, yeah, give me more of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I'll take if I didn't want that to be a movie. I was like, can we just get some 30-minute episodes and make this 6 episodes?
Oh, that's a good idea. I like that.
I think that story, and we got somebody in the comments is trying to confirm some stuff, and I think that like I personally didn't see that. I don't know if y'all want to speculate or comment on that, but I personally didn't. I didn't think so.
I kind of got the feeling that it wasn't.
It could go either way.
Yeah,
Right. That's why I was just like,
Yeah, it could go either way.
It wasn't.
and
It wasn't time travel. I don't think because they froze the people.
right.
But
And
why,
they keep a bunch of them for
why wait that long though? Because some of those would have been frozen for centuries before they decided to use them. You know,
I don't
like
know.
Why
don't
not?
know,
You keep
like-
meat in the freezer.
I was gonna
That's what I
say.
said. Like you keep me. Yeah, that's what I said. You keep
Could
me.
be.
You never
Could be.
know when you want some prosciutto.
I've got some sausage in my freezer. It's about a year old. Anyway,
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's so. Like I don't think it's time travel personally.
yeah,
I just
know
think-
either.
I think they had like because if you saw the room where they get the Viking lady, man, they had her in a man. They had that shit like it was a bunch of Diet Cokes in the fridge, bro.
that's true. They had a buttload of folks. In
They had,
there.
I was just like, damn,
So-
they yeah, like somebody said, why keep a bottle of wine in a cellar for 100 years? Cause you can, Kyle. Cause you can.
All right. Yeah, clearly Kyle's not familiar with the whole wine situation.
Yeah, what kind of Franzia are you sipping on, bro? Like improve your
Hey,
situation.
box wine is just as fine as regular
Hey,
wine.
I said Franzia. I named a particular brand. I'm not gonna. Also, love your hair. Good to see you. But yeah.
Well,
I'm
butter
only,
me
I'm
up.
only shit.
Not gonna
I'm
work
not
on
buttering you up, girl.
Listen, all I can say is, if you do a close up on here,
I got you. 1 sec.
get me. This is
it.
all he did was swap. There we go.
I couldn't. There's something in the way. So I had to move it.
Can you see me there with
Oh.
with my classy coffee cup
Got yourself
and a gallon of Suntory Vita
box
wine,
of wine.
a box
there.
of wine.
Yeah.
You had me in Suntory.
Indeed.
You had me at wine.
We got to
You
talk
had
about
me at box.
we got to talk about Suntory, Rob. I'll tell you all about it coming up.
Oh, can't wait.
Let's speaking of which, let's get the our dark liquors and raise a glass to several. Wow, we had a lot of them. Now the first one,
Oh my goodness.
not only a very influential person in comics, but I was lucky enough to interview him a long time ago.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, this was probably mid '80s. It was one of our first trips to New York that Bill and I took to do radio shows, and the boss said, "Who should we interview while we're there?" And I went, "New York City, home of Marvel Comics. We got to go to Marvel Comics." And met Jim Shooter, and my first thought was, "This is an ugly son of a bitch." But
Ouch. Ouch.
But got talking to him, and there was a lot of tension in the office, and it was because he was very exacting. He knew what he wanted and was not afraid to yell at you to get it. But he is responsible for so many influential comics. What's the one you got there, Rob?
This is Jim Shooter's first comic at age 14.
Yeah, he was just a teenager when he broke into comics.
So
What am I
basically,
doing with
he
my
was
life?
he was I think he was in the hospital and was reading comics and had looked at a bunch of DC comics and realized the stories were just flat. There was no like character development. They're just telling stories basically just to make money. And then he got some Marvel comics and said, "Oh, there's something here." In the way that Stan Lee and the Bullpen wrote, he was like, "Well, why can't they just do this?" So he, at 13, wrote a couple of just dissected some of the Marvel comics, reworked it with a brand for DC that wasn't doing much, which was the Legion. Which, if anybody's a long-time listener, they know that this is my favorite spot in comics. And he sent it into, I can't remember the editor now. I want to say Mort Weisinger, but whomever the editor was like, "Oh, send me more." And then like 6 months later, used his story, which introduced like 3 long-standing Legion members and one of their biggest nemesis at the same time. He went on, to get a job there before Weisinger realized he was 14. So basically, he brought him to New York to interview, and he's like, "Can my mom come?"
Oh my god.
And he's like, "Why do you need your mom?" He's like, "Because I'm 14."
Oh,
He's doing this
he's
at
like-
13 or 14. That is
Well-
crazy.
Yeah, your mom can come. So
when he was in charge at Marvel, he helped develop talent. I mean, Chris Claremont's and John Byrne's Uncanny X-Men, Frank Miller on Daredevil, Walt Simonson on Thor, not to mention Secret Wars, the 12-issue miniseries, Shooter, Mike Zeck, John Beatty, Drew. The crossover events, he's probably responsible for those. He went to DC, and he took Miller with him, Frank Miller, where they did The Dark Knight Returns. You may have heard of that one.
I know him.
Yeah. He's also responsible for getting an insurance plan, health and insurance plan for the talent in the office. They
good.
didn't have it until then.
Jeez.
And here's what Larry Hama, who was G.I. Joe, was talking about. Shooter was always trying to do the right thing. Hama recalled Shooter put a writer-artist on the company's insurance plan the day after he died in order to help his widow. The talent had qualified for the health insurance plan and wanted to sign up, but Marvel policy was only allowed for sign-ups on Wednesdays, and the guy died on Tuesday.
Oh my god.
So he said, "Well, we'll just fake the paperwork and we'll do it." But the guy's responsible for a lot of the stuff that we know and love.
And he seems like a good dude.
Yeah.
he could be tough. And looking
Very
at
tough.
a lot of the obituaries that came out this week, a lot of guys were like, "My first interaction with Shooter was not fun or was not great, but he was exacting, but he was fair."
Some of the best bosses I've ever had are like that. They're very straight to the point. Then you know what they want, but they're very fair with their employees as well. You know?
Yeah.
Now, Egg says that he named Optimus Prime and Megatron. Did the first draft of the story for the comics, I guess.
This dude is like a Bernie of comics.
Oh, he's a legend. Total legend.
It's-
Also, raise a glass to Dr. Doom.
Damn.
That was one of the last people I would have thought to see. Did anyone know that he had cancer?
No.
he kept it
It
very
said
private.
privately.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Shooter was esophageal
Esophageal
cancer.
yeah.
But Julie McMahon, 56 years old.
Everyone get checked.
Yeah, amen.
Seriously.
I fell in love with him in Nip Tuck. He was just so good on that show, as the ultimate narcissist, and just a handsome guy. You couldn't deny it.
Aesthetically,
I wonder if his Nip Tuck,
Yeah.
the way that he played his role on Nip Tuck, got him the Doom role.
Oh, I'm sure of it because they're both such narcissists.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was good as Doctor Doom in those Fantastic Four movies.
He was in Charmed as well back
He
in
was.
the day. He was a demon in Charmed. Balthazar, I think, was his name, something like that.
Whenever you need an evil guy, that's who you call. He was
As I
also
said, you need an evil. You need an evil, but also an evil dude in a different tax bracket. That's this guy.
evil rich guy.
100%. This dude he could be evil, but could never be broke. Man,
Perfect for the.
look at that.
Yes, exactly.
His dad was the Prime Minister of Australia.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this dude could never be broke.
No. Also, raise a glass too. This is a tough one.
Yeah, Michael Madsen.
Michael Madsen.
The Reaper is busy this week.
Boy, I'll
In
say.
all the places he shouldn't be. But
He's in, of course, a lot of Tarantino films. Most importantly, like Reservoir Dogs.
Iconic scene. He's in one of
Yes.
the most iconic scenes in that movie.
Where he's got the cop tied up and he cuts the cop.
Yeah.
You never see it, but he cuts the cop's
Stuck
ear
in the
off.
middle with you.
No.
Like every time I hear that song, I'm just like, oh my god, somebody.
Your ear starts to itch.
Yeah, but it's an earworm of a song. No pun intended. But it's a good.
he was
it's
also the
he's
foster
awesome in it.
dad in Free Willy.
He was in.
Oh my
Well,
gosh!
I mean,
I forgot about
he has 346 acting credits
Yeah.
and
Man
counting
works.
on IMDb. So
Man worked.
that. He also
Bastards.
voiced. Oh, my Green Lantern knowledge is failing me right now.
Yikes.
Kilowog. He voiced Kilowog.
he was
in one of
Kilowog.
the-
Yeah.
one of the Green
Damn,
Lantern
that's
cartoons.
right.
Yeah.
But he was great in Kill Bill. He was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I mean, he just did all these.
Not
He-
that
and
old.
what,
Sin
the-
City.
The Hangman 8 or whatever.
Hateful Eight.
Hateful
The Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight, yeah, bro. Listen, he was great in that.
Wasn't he
He
only
was
like
I think he was
67? Yeah.
67. They don't know what they say it was cardiac arrest, but well, we'll see. But yeah, he's one of my favorite lines is, "Are you gonna bark, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite?" Anyway, also Mark Snow. It's a name you probably don't know, but you definitely know the X-Files theme.
He
Yeah,
wrote that, huh?
he wrote
He
that.
looks like an approachable Louis C.K.
But there you go. He did
You're
a lot
not
of
wrong.
TV shows music. 15-time Emmy-nominated composer. Blue Bloods, Smallville, One Tree Hill, Ghost Whisperer, New Mutants, Ernest Saves Christmas. Well,
Hey, they can't all be gems.
Hey,
Did,
listen, y'all leave Ernest Save Christmas alone.
did he ever win, or was he only nominated?
only nominated, never won. You would have thought
Hey,
at
it doesn't
least for
matter.
the X-Files theme.
He saved it though.
That's true. And then finally, raise a glass to Admiral Piet. Yeah. Kenneth Colley, the actor who played Admiral Piet, 87 years old.
Damn.
Died of death.
Yeah,
died of
old.
Died of death.
of
80,
death.
It was 87, you know.
Yeah.
That's,
What you gonna do?
Raise a glass to Admiral Piet. You are in command now, Admiral Piet. Of course, his favorite is his famous line, "Bounty hunters, we don't need that scum." Yeah, anyway. All right, let's get to what we consume this week. Who wants to go first? Rebecca, did you see
go.
movies? Oh, Jay,
Yeah,
you go.
I'll go.
Oh yeah, go. I'll go after Rebecca. Yeah.
I saw it at the Secret movie because like once or twice a month movie theater franchises will do like a screen. AMC calls it Screen Unseen, but like various theaters will do a secret movie, and I caught wind last
wind.
week. I know you did, Tony.
A mighty
That-
wind. Oh wait, that's Christopher
that-
Guest.
Jurassic World Rebirth was the secret movie. So I was like, you know what? F it. I'm going to take myself out and go see a dinosaur movie. They need to stop making these movies. You guys.
I could have told you that, girl.
But like, here's the thing: people keep showing. It's gonna make like upwards of $300 million.
Yeah.
But do you know why? Because people will always show up for dinosaurs, which is hilarious considering one of the premises, like the main premises of this movie, is people are bored of dinosaurs. And so we made them a regular part of our lives, and now the people are bored. Which is so funny because like people keep showing up in droves because of dinosaurs. Tax says it exactly. I showed up for dinosaurs. Like you can't stop me from seeing a dinosaur movie. It is hollow. It is a hollow homage to what the original Jurassic Park that we know and love. It is It's directed by Gareth Edwards, who we know
Okay.
is great for his
Yes.
sense of scale. And written by David Coep. I never know how to pronounce his last name, but he's the guy who wrote the original Jurassic Park. And he's got a lengthy filmography under his belt. So he can write a movie. This
forgot
one
how for this
sucks
one?
though. Like this one sucks. Like it feels a lot more like a Crichton movie than all the Pratt dinosaur movies.
So
but
that's good, right?
Yeah, I was
what's
gonna
wrong
say
with
they
that?
kind of should.
Yeah, but then the action in the Pratt movies is better. Like I was more on the edge of my seat for the Pratt movies than I was for this one. Yeah, I need more Chris Pratt holding his hands out to stop velociraptors.
Hey, Blue Delta.
And they introduce a concept in this of like, these are all the genetically modified dinosaurs on this island. These are all the rejects. This is Professor X's island
Guess
of
what? They're
gifted
all-
dinosaurs.
They're all genetically modified. They
The
make a point of
Indoraptor
saying
from
that.
the last series, the one that could turn invisible.
Oh,
Well, they turned up the dial to 11 on this one, so it doesn't even feel like. I believe in my heart of heart dinosaurs were real at one point.
well, of
and
course. You don't need to believe in your heart of hearts. That's
Kind of evidence.
did.
right
That's
there
just
for it,
science.
You know?
Yeah.
but
What is
this
the
one,
science of which you
it's
speak?
all extremely fantastical because none of the dinosaurs in this movie were actual dinosaurs.
okay. Well,
They're
buy the premise, you buy the bed, I suppose.
So basically, it's the what if we spliced X and X to make Y?
yeah, and okay. Oh, okay. I guess I don't know. Everyone clapped at the end when I saw it, so
They clapped at the end.
That's
yeah,
how
of
you know it's
course
good.
they did.
What is this?
Dinosaurs.
Likely-
I don't know. It feels like a hollow homage. Like there are instances within this movie that are really like, oh, do you remember this from when we did this and that in the first movie? Wasn't that scary? And maybe I got taken out of it because not since the movie F1 have I seen so much product placement in a movie.
What do you mean not since? You saw F1 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw F1 after Jurassic.
Wow.
See, there you go. Not since the last movie I saw have I seen so much.
Yeah,
Did you
I
see
don't
it in
know.
D-Box?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I saw
Well,
F1
that would
on
have just changed
D-Box, though.
everything altogether right there.
Probably, man, maybe I don't know. Scarlett Johansson, would love some character development at all from anybody. Jonathan Bailey's a horse girl for dinosaurs, and
Mahershala Ali.
he's there too.
He shows up.
I think you guys did you guys read the story this week about how all of the costumes for Sinners were taken from the Blade movie?
Yeah.
What?
I think Mahershala Ali should be allowed to hunt Kevin Feige. Yes, Jay.
Wait, all the costumes.
Well, a good lot of them.
A good,
Okay,
good
because I
chunk of
like
them.
I do. I legit have a friend that worked on that set and designed the costumes for Sinners. So I'm like,
I mean,
Well-
a good chunk of them were taken from the Blade movie that they were made for Mahershala Ali's Blade movie.
Oh, for
'Cause
the
it was
new,
ori-
I'm thinking the old Blade movie. I'm like, aren't
no,
those
no.
clothes
For
are
Mahershala
25
Ali's
years old? And
Okay,
not
period
the right
piece-
time period?
Period piece Blade movie.
Okay,
Those a bunch of those
got it.
costumes were
Okay.
used for Sinners.
That makes
thank
more
you
sense
for
now.
clarifying.
There you
Okay,
go.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I was like, what?
I don't remember there being any bulletproof vests in 1920s that looked like Kevlar.
So
Yeah.
what do you give the dinosaurs?
I don't know, like 3 stars, I guess. It was
Were you not entertained?
entertained, I guess. Like, I wish, and I know how blockbusters have to end a certain way. I just wish we lived in a world where movies could take bigger swings with stuff. And like, you know how I complain about Next Gen about how they never commit to anything?
Mm-hmm.
I wish we could do that in blockbuster movies. But we live in a world where we can't. And so here we are. And here I am giving Jurassic Park 3 stars. Heads of State on Amazon Prime, starring John Cena and Idris Elba.
Yes.
This movie is Rebecca Catnip So John Cena plays the President of the United
Thank
States.
you,
Okay.
Rob. Thank you.
Right away. Right away. I got a problem.
It's just like your taste is just so.
I always
That-
keep them guessing.
That dumb movie sucked. This dumb movie.
This dumb movie rocked.
That is
John
on brand
Cena
Rebecca.
plays an action star turned President of the United States of America.
You know,
President Camacho.
like, essentially. Yeah.
Idris Elba is the Prime Minister of the UK.
But that's
Carla
believable.
Gugino is the Vice President of the United States. And there's
We got Carla.
We got Carla. And there's, of course, a big plot. And so Idris Elba and John Cena have to find themselves working together after Air Force One crashes. Yeah, it's not it's a fun action movie. I love a
heard
fun
this
action
was
movie.
actually pretty solid.
It's fun. Like,
You got good jokes.
it's got good jokes, and it's a fun subversion because we are very used to seeing John Cena as like knows what he's doing, action guy, punch punch pew pew. This movie, because he plays an action star turned president, he doesn't really know how to he doesn't really know how to use a gun. He doesn't really
Yeah.
know how to throw a punch. He's gym strong. He's not like real life experience strong. And it's fun. It's a fun subversion to see John Cena play this type of character. I had fun. The soundtrack rocks. Kickstart My Heart and oh my God, there's another song in there that I was like, yes, this is Rebecca's soundtrack to everyday life. I love it. Love it. Priyanka Chopra Jonas is also
Yeah.
in it.
I like
She's
her.
great.
is.
Yeah.
Gorgeous every time. Oh my God.
Yeah. So
Man, she's just
3.5 stars on
3.5 for that.
out of 5 is what I give Heads of State.
I guess I'll give this movie. I don't like
I know,
3.
you-
This one I really like 3.5.
Always keep them guessing. And then
Yeah,
I
that's great.
finished
No sense, Rebecca.
I finished season 4 of The Bear. I think they should end the show. They're not gonna. They have announced there's a season 5.
Yeah,
but
they have, yeah.
I personally think the show would benefit from ending.
Well, I'm
It was
gonna go
good.
and-
Like,
I'm
but
gonna
I
go
just I
watch it
think
today.
I think they've completed their arc, and I think it should end.
How
All
many
right.
cigarettes can he smoke? Jeez.
So, well, he quit smoking this season.
Oh,
And it makes him more irritable.
well, yeah, naturally.
Yeah. All right. Jay, you want to go?
Yeah. So first off, Miss y'all. Good to see y'all.
Good to see you.
I'm off the
Welcome
road
back.
for a little bit. Leave on Monday. I'll give y'all my schedule after we wrap. So I haven't had much time to really consume much. So what I have been doing though is I ended up. Your boy decided to get a Crunchyroll subscription.
Oh,
Been
yeah.
dipping in the anime, huh?
Yeah. When you have a son who is soon to be 18, holy shit. Yeah. Yeah. So you're trying to connect with him. So I just, I'm like, all right, what should I started watching a show called Solo Leveling.
Mm.
Holy shit. If y'all want a good show to watch, Solo Leveling, Crunchyroll, 2 seasons. You can watch the dub, watch the sub. I don't care. Just a great show. Like, I sat down with some folks and I was at a bar and even the bartender knew about it. He's like, oh, you started watching it? Hey, just watch it. He's like, because as soon as you start watching it, you're going to be like, all right, that was cool. Second episode, all right, yeah, bet. Third, all right, we're in. I flat out said, I'm in the first minute. It was like, the first minute, I was like, oh, this is what to expect? I'm in. And this show has some nightmare fuel moments, but once you understand what it's about, it's got some great character development. I mean, it's what do you expect? It's a classic anime. This guy is not really good at life, and then he's a weak guy, and then like he goes through some challenges, loses some shit in the process, and starts monologuing for 3 minutes in the middle of a fast-paced battle. It's kind of annoying, but it's
That's-
still a good watch.
Classic anime.
Yeah, but it's great. Solo Leveling, check it out. Predator, Killer of Killers, as I said earlier, beautiful movie to look at. I really enjoy this. I was left wanting more.
Mhm.
It did start a little slow for me, and I think that's just maybe because I was in a fast-paced mind. I don't know, but like I remember just being like, okay, I understand what's happening. Can we speed this up? And then, but I want more of that. I saw the hate for Ironheart, so me forever being the contrarian decided to tune in, binged it, and this was a DC or Marvel's like a Marvel's version of Arrow that I felt like, or Black Lightning. I just felt like I was like, this is fine. It it wasn't. I get why people hated on it, but I also can see why people liked it. I personally think I had to like back off a Riri because I was like, yo, you got an all-powerful suit and you got a gun. Please, the time I heard her say, please don't, a lot. I was like, yo, I don't think you cut out for this shit.
When I watched all of it as well, and is it just me? And hopefully it's not just me. No. It might be. They didn't make her a very likable character in this series.
Right. Can I go to Jay, please? I got a few things to say.
I don't think it's a likable character. I think it's just like,
which
hey,
I'm fine with.
What are we doing?
Right. That's kind of what I mean. And I'll be honest, I usually really enjoy stories with non-likable characters because they're usually more interesting than
Tony
someone who's
wasn't
easy
likable.
to like. I'm still
Tony
not
Stark.
likable.
Right.
Tony Stark.
Yeah, same kind of thing. The only reason people like Tony Stark better, I think, is because he had funny one-liners.
And he's a white man.
And there's that too, right? But yeah. So anyway, continue.
All right, and Kyle brings up a solid point. To be fair, she's a child with PTSD. No, you got to get over it. It's Southside Chicago. You got. No, black people don't believe in PTSD and depression. We just walk that shit off. Cut the crap, Kyle. No,
The opinions expressed here. No, just kidding.
and then I saw Hacks.
Yeah.
I mean, like this
also not likable characters.
Not likable character.
Right?
I think Hacks is, especially if you've been on the road, especially if you've been a feature act, Hacks is a great show. It's there. There was it was a great show. It was a great show. And
I loved this last season.
I like Hacks I was like, damn, they're cooking on this. And
any show that goes into the business of show,
yes,
that makes it relatable to me, and I understand all of it. Yes.
And speaking of, finally, last but not least, I have to recommend this book. I have to. I'll be right back. It just takes me 20 seconds to grab it.
20 seconds.
I'm timing it.
That's a lifetime in podcast seconds.
There you go. I'm already back. All right, so
that's great.
I know this book right here. Can you zoom up on me?
I got you right here.
Running the Light
I love the cover.
by Sam Talent. If you do not know who Sam Talent is, he's a great comedian. Please Google his name right now. He's a great comedian. But this is a fictional story with a foreword written by Doug Stanhope. And if you love Doug Stanhope, then you're going to love this book. This book is, if you want to know what life on the road is like for a comedian from a fictional standpoint, this is a great book because it's fictional, but a lot of it's true. Like you're just like, yep, that's life on the road.
I've heard Stanhope talk about this book. Yeah,
it is a great book. I'm halfway through. Man, I've had a lot of road gigs this year, obviously, and I've had some times to like just reflect. And when I open this book, I'm like, okay, so yeah, all right. At least I'm not in a.
It's not just me.
At least I'm not in a VFW in New Mexico. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's no disrespect to New Mexico, no disrespect to VFWs, but y'all know what y'all got down there. Shut up. Anyway, but that's really been it. And also, I want to give a shout out. I want to recommend Vision Works. Shout out to Vision Works, got me right. You know, I ain't rocking transitions no more. We just out here with some round lenses.
Specs. Let me zoom in on those. Yeah,
we out here with some round lenses. You know,
I like
good,
that,
man. Looking good.
Yeah, indeed. All right. Rob, Tony?
Rob wanted to go next.
Rob wanted to go.
Yeah, he had things to say.
Yeah,
likable. He wants to talk about likable black women with MIT dropout.
I'm going to come back to that in just a second. I'm going to go through N.K. Jemisin. Not going to talk about her. James, enjoying this. I'm remembering scenes from reading Huckleberry Finn years ago. And I'm like, oh, I need to look at this in reverse. So when I finish this, I'll be rereading Huck Finn just to go, this is what this was referencing. But if you find this at your local bookstore, library, download it, audiobook, whatever, check it out.
Rob, I'm telling you, read The Trees next. By Percival, same author, Percival Everett.
Oh, okay. I was like, huh?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Read
okay.
The Tree. No, it's that book I was talking about that seemed like Black Fargo, or like a Black
okay.
Coen Brothers
Gotcha.
movie.
All right.
I'm going to do comics first, then I'll get back to the thing with Jay. JSA number nine. JSA is on the ropes fighting the what are they calling themselves? Injustice Society, I believe. Turn of events, you have one of the least thought of characters whooping ass, taking and kicking ass, taking names. I enjoyed seeing that.
Did
Curious
Obsidian
to see how they
turn
wrap
evil again?
Pardon me?
Did Obsidian turn evil again? Is that what we're seeing?
Let's go with that for now. For now, you might want to read this
Okay.
if you haven't read it. Yeah,
No, I forgot something, but we'll get back to it. Yeah.
okay. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2 Electric Boogaloo. The Justice League versus the Suicide Squad versus the Legion of Doom versus Kong versus Godzilla. Oh my god. So many verses in this thing, it is not even funny. But watching Superman obsess about Lex Luthor in the middle of fighting kaiju is kind of funny. And watching Supergirl get swatted by Kong repeatedly, even though they're supposed to be friends, you're just like, dude, I thought we were going to hang out and just chill. Yeah,
Ruh-roh.
not so much. Birds of Prey. So there have been, for the past like 4 issues, the birds have been separated and set upon by villains who pretty much match the hero that they're up against. And the clock tower is destroyed. The birds decide to kind of go on the offensive, get a little bit of help, and I think this wraps up next issue. This has been a solid read by it's not Stephanie Thompson, is it? No, Kelly Thompson, who's also writing crap. She was writing Captain Marvel. I can't remember the other book she's writing now. It just blanked on me. But Birds of Prey has been a solid read. I do recommend it. Captain America, Our Secret Wars Part 1. I think this is just going to be a mini series, but this picks up a week after Captain America is out of the ice. Hasn't joined the Avengers yet.
Oh, really?
And everybody's
Okay.
trying to figure out, is it really Captain America or just some guy who's doing like an homage? And Cap does something that you would that falls into character for him. He doesn't join the Avengers right away. He's like, I don't know you guys, and I don't know what's going on here, but there's one place I can go. He goes back to the army, and they're all just kind of like, is this the guy? And they don't even know because, there's no DNA evidence to go, oh yeah, that's Rogers. So this is a good one. They're doing a little bit of a slow burn here where they're introducing a villain kind of in parallel with Steve, who's going on a journey very similar to Steve's of being the underdog, being the weakling, and wanting to just help. But I get the feeling it's going to wind up kind of like Syndrome in The Incredibles.
Got it.
Abbott Elementary, again, still 22 minutes of joy. Fringe, 44 minutes of weird science. Ironheart.
Okay.
So, watched
What
the
you
first
thinking
3 episodes last week. Binged the last 3 last night because I'm like, I got to finish this before tomorrow. Riri is a not likable character. Riri has always been, is created by Brian Michael Bendis and Mike Deodato.
Mm-hmm.
Riri has been kind of a not likable character at times in the comics even.
Oh.
She
This
does
is
deal
my-
with the PTSD of having her best friend and her stepfather gunned down before her. So she definitely deals with PTSD, but they also show that she's, genius level IQ, Tony Stark plus level IQ. However, because there's nobody that she's ever been really able to relate to, she does a lot of her processing internally and shuts people out. So we saw that in the series, and I was okay with that. The problem, even the fact that they gave her kind of a take on the Tony Stark story in the MCU with, I've got nothing to build. I got to build this in a junkyard. That whole thing, fine. You know, the questionable element of, is she a bad person for what she's doing, where Tony's just taking things to his own hand? Equal. I mean, a parallel, rather. The problem I had is that she never seems to learn.
Yeah.
She makes the same damn mistake
The whole
every damn
season.
time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, at some point, something's got to be like, oh, this needs to change, and it never does. She got a little better in episode 5, where she let her family in a little.
Just a little bit.
But I mean, just a little.
Yeah.
But again, I'm sitting here watching episode 6, going, oh, they're going to break the cycle. They're going to break the
Nope. They're
seriously.
not. Yeah.
I haven't seen the last 3 episodes. I just haven't had time to. But something that like really stood out to me in regards to Riri was she was asked why build this suit? And she doesn't
answer.
have a purpose.
Finally.
No,
It's
we do get
because
the
she
answer.
can. Oh, okay. Because in the first
We
2
do get
episodes,
the
it is
answer.
because I can.
Yeah.
That's
Which
her
is-
cop-out answer. No, it's
Yep.
a cop-out.
It is.
It's her easy. It's her. I can give you this. I can name this tune in 3 notes because I can. But
Now
there
leave
is
me
a there is a
alone,
larger
kind of a thing.
issue at stake, and it is straight out of the Tony Stark playbook.
Yes,
And I
Jen?
was just like, ugh. So I finished it, and Rebecca, that's why I messaged you last night. Like, I just finished this, and I think I'm mad
Yeah, I
Because-
meant to message you back about that.
because I'm just like, I was so frustrated.
Yes.
Here's the problem. I can hear it. As soon as you started talking about it, Rob, I know what it is. They're not. The reason why she's an annoying character to some people is because we don't know what to do with her yet. For the record, and this is, I'll give you. She's Exhibit B. She's Exhibit B. Exhibit A is what's her face, Sister Sage in The Boys, a genius level intellect black woman. They don't know what to do with these characters, and they have to make it about some sort of struggle bullshit. So there has to be like, because to me, yes, the answer because I can is a sustainable answer, but it's like it has to be so rooted in fucking trauma, black history, all of these damn things. And when they make these characters so one-dimensional because of like, oh, DEI, all this other stuff, and it's so that's our only motivation, when it should just be like, hey, I'm just, I went through this other stuff, I went through all these hardships in life, but yeah, because I can, not because of a race thing, a cultural thing, but there always has to be that stake. That if you watch something like that, that always has to be our story. It always has to be some trauma trigger bullshit. So it's just like, if we just normalize the fact that, hey, sometimes black women just know this shit, and we're
I think
just
that we got that though. We get a bit of that with Cree Summers' character and her daughter. And
absolutely.
even with Riri's mom, we get that. We
Yeah.
think there are people who are just like, I can handle my shit, and that's fine. But I mean, it's like my mom would say, some people don't believe the fat meat is greasy. Riri's that one. Just like, okay, how many times do you have to get burned before you realize stove's hot? Don't touch it.
Well, as a person that has had to learn many lessons, sometimes people just learn that way, and
I mean,
like it's
slow
and
learner.
she
Great.
internalizes her, and like living proof of that was such a that's such a great thing that you said, to how she internalizes and processes things, because that's why her best friend is AI. Like, you know what I'm saying? She keep like it's one of those things where you watch this show and you're like, yeah, we could deal without this episode. This really should have been like 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Well, and I think part of it too is it shows a little bit of her hubris. She is so smart.
Yeah.
She is so smart, that she can look at something and be like, I can do it right this time. I saw this destroy everyone else's lives, but I'm smart enough. I can make it work.
That's
And I think
nice.
that's a
She's
piece
stubborn.
of it. And
The
Which
other
is
thing is she's
which is
stubborn.
villain
For
territory.
sure.
Now,
it is.
I will
It gets
say,
into villain territory. You're right.
and Rebecca, I will say this, and this is no spoiler. there is a moment that is just for Rebecca in this show.
Oh yeah, no, I'm aware. Yeah, the internet has spoiled everything for me.
Well, that's why I stay off of it. You know, did you guys know? Did you guys know that we had an election? It's crazy. Anyways, but yeah, like it's just for that moment, I was so happy for you. But
We'll take this into the
thank
after
you.
party. I think.
can I say, I need to recommend one thing because I totally forgot it. Justice League versus Yakuza League. I said it in our group chat last night.
Oh yeah.
It was Justice League or Batman Ninja versus Yakuza League versus My Strong Edible. Holy shit! This is a fever. This is a fever dream. It takes place the day after Batman Ninja. The day after.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought. I thought it was gonna be like no. So it's a follow up. I give it 4 edibles out of 5. Crazy.
I meant to message you back and say who won. Did you win or did Batman win or did the edible win?
Everybody.
I always win.
Yes. All right, Tony.
Yeah, the last thing I want to say about Ironheart was, regardless of likability, character, everything, I just wish there was more, because the 6th episode ends and it's just like, okay, now what?
That's it.
What you just blew open a lot of stuff and you're just going to leave everything scattered around? So
That was yeah.
But yeah, I quite enjoyed it, but I can see why some people might struggle with certain aspects of it. And that's kind of the main thing I watched this week. We're still watching King of the Hill. We're in season 4, and nearing the end of season 4, I think.
Yeah.
Bobby just had an episode where he became a rodeo clown. Classic Bobby Hill.
That's a fun episode.
So,
All right.
did you ever want to be a rodeo clown, Carrie?
Almost.
Really?
For a minute.
Last
minute.
but not least,
Because we used to
Really?
have, because it was a thing. You went to the rodeo every year.
I love
and
this.
and I was just like, I could never do that. I could never do that. And then I saw the clowns come out, and I'm like, I can.
Oh, that
What
looks
would
I
have
can
been
run.
your rodeo clown name?
Jean's Wall.
Jeez.
I've already
Didn't even have
discussed
to
this.
Think about it. It
I've
was
already
just
I've already
there.
discussed this. Jean's Wall is my rodeo clown character, and what's great about Jean's Wall is that you can't understand him.
All right.
Save it for the after party.
Well, yeah.
All right.
Last but not least, finished the Fables main story. Fantastic. Just absolutely phenomenal. Now I didn't know there was more Fables after the main story.
Yes.
There's Dark
Yeah.
Ages Fables or something like that.
And there's also Jack Prince of Fables, and Cinderella had his miniseries as well.
Nice. Well, I'm going to read those.
And Rose
then
Red.
I've also been reading from the early 2020s, Dark Crisis from DC.
Even I know that one, Tony. What you doing? Hey man, what are you doing?
It's
What are you doing?
I don't know. It caught my attention, and it was only 7 issues, so I was like, I'll read this.
Damn it, Tony.
You know, it's a thing. You know,
All right.
I'm sorry.
Bring it to the after party. We'll talk about it then. Just real quickly here, I watched The Electric State on Netflix and did not hate it.
I do want to watch that one. I just keep forgetting it exists.
I didn't like
Not the
it.
one with Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it.
Did he do this to the robots?
My complaint was mostly that the message was really heavy-handed at the end. You know, the message is essentially get off the internet and go touch grass. That's the message. You know,
What
so-
grass? There's no grass in the electric state.
I'll do it
Exactly.
when I feel like it.
Ironheart, I quite liked it. I especially liked our mysterious Marvel character that shows up in the last episode. I thought it was
Parker's
brilliant.
benefactor, we could
Yeah.
say.
Thank you. Parker's benefactor shows up, and that was great. Finally, I did go to Japan and Korea, as you guys know. I'm wearing my Japanese Jaws shirt today.
Did you buy that
Very
in
cool
Japan?
shirt.
Wait,
Yes.
did you go to Korea or
Nice.
Japan first?
I went to Korea and then Japan.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Now, went to the Tokyo Disneyland parks again. The first time I went was 7 years ago and had a great time. Something happened between now and then. The greed heads got involved. It used to be there were a lot more employees always there to help you. Not so much anymore. All right. But here's a couple of things that I did notice, and I had to finally look it up. Tokyo Disneyland has a Star Wars ride but no Star Wars merchandise.
What?
I found one item in the park.
That's where they make their money.
Did you buy it?
No, it was a coffee mug with Han, Chewie, and the Millennium Falcon on it. And that was it.
Huh.
That was it. Also, there was no Marvel product except for Baby Groot
Sure.
and Baymax. They love them both over there. Baymax has his
Maybe it's
own
going to
ride.
make sense.
Baymax
Yeah.
is awesome.
Baymax has his own ride over there. It's essentially just bumper cars, but it's a Baymax ride.
Oh, that's
He's
fun.
big and squishy. That makes sense.
So there was that. The other thing that, as far as Marvel representation goes, this blew me away. Now we've got the pictures here. We're gonna, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead, take a look. Rebecca's gonna throw these up here. I've not been on It's a Small World in ages, but they said it's a small world with Groot, and they said try to count how many Groots are hidden throughout It's a Small World.
How many did you get?
We got up to 23.
Whoa.
But what I wasn't prepared for was the other Marvel characters that were represented in It's a Small World. And this is the only place that you're seeing Marvel characters in the parks. As you can see, there's Rocket.
Gondolier.
Eating an ice cream cone.
He's eating an ice cream cone. Let's go to the next one here. There, as we went to Greece, there's Hulk.
Shrek? Oh.
Yeah, it looks like Shrek at first. But there's Hulk there. You can see Groot down there as well. Let's go to the next one here. Now, this one, you had to really look closely here.
Gamora.
Gamora and Mantis,
Mantis.
Oh, yeah, there she is.
right there.
Do they go to Wakanda?
What?
Do they go
Hit
to
the, hit the next one. There's Black Panther right
There you
there.
go. Got the flowers.
Yep. With
Yeah,
Groot.
what's up with that rhino?
He's playing
He's
the piano.
stoned as
Stoned.
hell.
He's stoned
No,
as
it
hell.
just looks like is that a rope around his neck? Like,
Oh,
that's-
Jesus.
It does look like that, though.
You know what I'm saying?
can
That's
see
why I
where
was
you-
like-
where you
That
got
angle,
that.
I could see where you could see that with that.
Yeah.
All right. What's the next one?
my fault. Yeah.
There's Ant-Man and the Wasp and
That's
Groot.
fun.
Yeah, so, and then the next one. A real dignified turn for Captain America there.
He's just having a good time on his sled.
He's spinning around. You can't see it, but he's spinning
Oh.
around. Yeah. Next one there.
Goofy
You have to
ass
look
outfit.
really close for Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
I was, oh, here's Drax too. I was like, is this
Yeah.
Orville Peck?
Star-Lord and Drax there in
Where's
It's a
Groot
Small
here?
World.
Wait,
Where's
who's
Groot
playing
in
the
this
guitar? Just random.
Oh,
Small World
so
character.
he is Orville Peck. Okay.
I feel like that. At first glance, I don't know why my instant brain thought Elvis Costello. I don't know why, but
Okay, because hat and a guitar.
that's what it is.
Look closely here in Mexico. You
Cap.
can see Captain Marvel,
Oh yeah.
and she flies up the side of that volcano thing or whatever it is. Next one. This was the cool effect. This was Thor, and it was lightning and rain sounds and everything. But it's a small world ride, so it's not, spectacular. Let's see, and I think that was there
That
one
was
more?
all of them.
That was all of them. But that's your Marvel representation in those parks.
That's about it, huh?
Yeah. Here's what I would suggest if you do go to those parks. First of all, well, you don't need to go to those parks. But anyway, if you do go, there is something that they do in these Japanese parks that they don't do in other parks. And that is when you get off the ride that you're on, there's a little kiosk there, and you can buy little, like, Matchbox cars, like Hot Wheels, recreations of, as you can see,
That's
the
Indiana
ride that you were
Jones
just
Jeep.
the ride you were just on, the car that you were riding in. So there's the Indiana Jones Jeep. There's the Doom buggies from Haunted Mansion. See? And then there is, this one is from Beauty and the Beast. I don't know why I got that one, because it was a pretty cool little ride. It was brand new
teacup?
when we got there. Yeah, it's a teacup. And then, of course, they used the monorail for what it was supposed to be used for. And that is
Monorail.
transportation around
Yes.
the parks, and it's efficient and easy to use. Anyway,
Now, the most important question, Carrie.
yes,
Did they have churros?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, what was the
Phew.
Dole Whip situation?
yeah. There was Dole Whip. There was
Oh,
As
Disney
long as the
park.
churros are there.
okay. F me.
Duh.
You know,
Duh, us.
I just
of
think
course.
you can't have
Duh.
a park without those things. Come on.
That's right. I knew it.
Anyway, Let's head off to the after party. Thank you for being here, everybody. If you want to join us, geekshowgotthiscovered.com is the link to our after party, to our Patreon. It's very, very affordable. So support the show. We're commercial free. So there we go. Let's go there now. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Goodbye.